think, and I'm really glad to meet you. You're recommended to me by some people.
Mac from Data Everything has had their share of redesign. I wanted to talk about this on here not only because I really enjoy the game, but because I am a part-time wheelchair user myself. I actually said myself the other day while live streaming Data Everything, I did not like Mac's design, or at least the design for their chair. However, I was so appreciative to the fact that they included a wheelchair user in the game that I just didn't even think to come on here and talk about it or complain about it at all. But other people did. In fact, a user named Solstice, who I will be tagging down below, talked about it and ended up working with the dev team for their redesign, which is not only so cool because they listened to feedback from the disability community, but they actually included a disabled person in their redesign process. This is Mac's previous design. As you can see, the armrests and the back of the chair are very large. It would make it very difficult to self-propel if you even could self-propel, considering that the wheels don't have any handles. Versus their new design, which is based on an actual type of wheelchair, a lightweight manual rigid chair. Mine personally is a lightweight foldable manual chair. As you can see, the back of the chair has been brought down and the armrests are much smaller, and the fact that there are handles on the wheelchair, as well as just having a far more accurate design for people who are everyday wheelchair users. I think it's also a lot less visually distracting and takes away from Mac's design themselves less. So again, huge shout out to Solstice and shout out to the dev team for actually working with and listening to the disabled community. Love y'all.
So I decided to add some more decorations to my roller since the weather's getting warmer and that makes my POTS symptoms worse, so I'm probably gonna have to use it a lot more. I already had some stickers and stuff on there, but I wasn't really happy with how it looked, and I really didn't like that there was still like some manufacturer logos and like safety warnings left on there. So I got some glue gun and took all those off, and it looked a lot nicer already, like just with all those stickers gone. And then there was also a bunch of like heart stickers and stars that I put on there a while ago, but they're really coming off, so I just took all those off. And then I really didn't like the big logos on the storage bag, so I decided I was going to put a bunch of patches on it to cover them. These are most of the patches I used. I ended up adding a few more, but some of them I made myself, and then some of them are just fabric scraps. And I got some more sparkle stickers. That's a keychain from my backpack, and then a bracelet. And these are some things that I sewed to put on the bars. So there's me sewing one of them on. I just put like a bunch of spikes in them and made the edges of the fabric nice. And then, yeah, sewed them on there. I would have put more studs on it, but those are just the ones that I had left, so yeah. And that little hook that I made is where that star keychain guy's gonna go. He's really cute. I really like that guy. And yeah, that's the final product. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love it so much, especially the bag. Like, I put patchwork on a lot of my stuff, like my backpack and my clothes, so I feel like it matches my outfits a lot better now. If you use mobility aids or you're thinking about getting some, I would definitely recommend putting as many decorations on it as possible to like fit your aesthetic, because it makes it feel way more like a fashion accessory, and it makes me a lot more confident using my mobility aids in public.
You ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
Hold on.
You good?
No, I can't get up yet. My heart's making these weird pulsing movements.
Are you sure you're good?
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. It's just, hold on just 1 second. It'll go away. This happens sometimes. No, this just happens sometimes. It's completely normal.
Okay, I'm calling an ambulance.
No, don't call 911. No, it'll be gone in a second. Okay. Whew, that was crazy. No, this just happens sometimes. It's just the way my body functions. Don't even worry about it. Let's go. Yeah,
right, yeah.
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. My head just really hurts. Wait, I can't see anything.
What?
I can't see anything.
Oh my god, bro, I think we should go to a hospital or
I
something.
can't hear anything. Are you talking? Whoa. I think it'll be fine. It'll go away in a second, I bet.
We need to go to a hospital.
No, this has happened before. Low iron, I think. Oh, okay. No, I'm back. Yeah, just a little dehydrated. Not a big deal.
And so then we went over to her table and we were talking like
Hold on, my shoulder kind of hurts.
Oh my god, did that just come from your body?
No, that's a good thing. That was a good thing. It just had to pop it back into place. Sometimes it just gets dislocated. It's just how my body is.
If you're embarrassed to use a mobility aid, consider this. What's more embarrassing? Using the mobility aid or falling. Like, eating dirt. What's more embarrassing?
Booby trapped on my bike. Booby trapped on my bike. Don't take naps in cars. Don't take naps in cars. No one really knows. No one really knows. I guess my truck can't fly. I guess my truck can't fly.
Do you want a hug? Oh, that's interesting. It's just that you don't look sick. Why do you have that? Oh, I really like the stickers. What happened? Oh, okay. Are you sure you need that? Does that feel a little, extreme? Where's your mom? My mom takes care of me when I'm sick, like when I flew up. Have you tried just, drinking water? I know that really helps me. No, I know someone with POTS, and they are nowhere nearly as bad as you are. Need to sit down? Okay, that's fine. What's your favorite color? You need to sit now? We just started walking. I kind of think that you just need to push through it. You get stickers at the doctor's office. I got the big Spider-Man. I got some flowers, some hearts. And your doctor still hasn't figured out what's going on. Maybe you just need to bring someone with you. I feel like you're not communicating well enough because they would help you if you communicated how bad it is.
July is Disability Pride Month. You might not have known this, but it used to be illegal for people with disabilities to exist in public spaces. There used to be something called the Ugly Laws, and it wasn't even that long ago. They were officially repealed in 1974. That's only a little over 50 years ago. The Ugly Laws viewed people with disabilities as unsightly and made it illegal for people with disabilities to be in public because it was seen as a public nuisance. It also has only been a little bit over 30 years since the ADA was enacted. Even in 2025, disability can be seen as a problem that needs to be fixed, when in reality, most conditions can't be fixed by a simple solution. The purpose of this month is to celebrate the lives of people with disabilities, celebrate our achievements, celebrate the ADA, and to raise awareness for disability rights and disability justice. My name is Leah. I've been a part of the disability community for over 7 years now, and I also have a master's degree in disability science. So if you want to hear some educational background about disability this month, feel free to follow along.
Do any other disabled people feel like a burden to those closest to them because they have higher support?
Oh, that's a loaded question, but you're me 4 years ago, and I'm going to tell you what my therapist did to help me. Number one, so many women feel this way, especially when they become disabled, because we are essentially programmed from the beginning of our conception that women in society's place, so much of that depends upon our having value and our being available emotionally, physically, 100% of the time, so that when we get hit with chronic illness, when we get hit with disability, so much of our worth and our value is wrapped up in how accessible we are to other people. And for women, it is especially hard to ask for help, to need anything, because we are so programmed to be the backbone of society, especially in family dynamics. So, the first thing that you need to do is accept who you are for the situation that you're in right now. No more beating yourself up for things that you are not physically capable of doing anymore. And number two, you have to reprogram your brain to understand that just because you have a disability does not mean that you're a burden. It doesn't. You're not a burden, especially to people who love you, and that includes family, friends, and if there is anybody in your life that is making you feel like you're a burden, you need to remove that person from your existence as soon as possible. Because you have every right to exist in this world just as you are. Just as you are. Disabled people have every right to exist in an able-bodied world without feeling like you're a burden. You have worth and you have value, and it is not wrapped up in how much that you can give to other people. I hope that this has helped you. I cannot recommend therapy enough. And if you do not have access to therapy, there's always ChatGPT that does great therapy sessions. But so much of what's going to happen is you have to accept and convince yourself that you're not a burden and that you deserve help, you deserve love, you deserve friendship, and you deserve to live your life just as any other able-bodied person does.
Quick reminder that disability is not a bad word, and people with disabilities are the biggest minority group to ever exist, period. And it's also the only minority group that anyone at any moment in a blink of an eye can immediately become a part of. So you better start considering how you talk about, think about, act around, interact with as a whole, love on people with disabilities. And what a better time to do it than now, because July is Disability Pride Month. Number one, educate yourself. Find some movies to watch, find a documentary series, find some literature and some books. Extra perks if it is written by someone with a disability. There's an amazing book called Demystifying Disability. It is written by a woman with disabilities, and it really is just kind of a quick grab about how to be an ally. I personally also recommend a documentary called Crip. It follows one of my lifetime icons, Judah Human, and the bravery she upheld to make sure that change happened in her lifetime. Also an amazing documentary series called Patrice, and it is on Hulu, and it follows a woman and her love of her life and why they can't get married, and it's very, very eye-opening into the struggles that people deal with. A second thing that I encourage you to do this month is find places local to you that are actually employing people with disabilities in a correct way and support those places. There is someone local to you that is a person with a disability trying to make it and find a way to uplift them. Another really fun thing I encourage you to do is get on the phone and call your state legislator, call your state representatives, call anybody who represents you as a constituent and scream at them. Because the current MAGA agenda, which is to cut Medicare, Medicaid, disability services, the big, beautiful bill, will only end in people dying. So if you have anything to add, if you have movies to watch, documentary series to tune into, people to follow, voices that we should be uplifting, please comment them in the comments below, because that is the focus. Again, July is Disability Pride Month, so I encourage you to do a little bit more than you should be doing in your day-to-day world, but this is a great month to dive a little bit deeper.
Want to come with me to my job? Let's go. You must be wondering, where does he work? Well, there's your hint. First thing, gotta ride that escalator. And yes, it is more fun in a wheelchair. And we zoom in, and we're at work. Yeehaw. I've clocked in, and now I'm just, wheeling around, seeing if anyone needs help. You might be thinking, oh, but you're so short. How do you reach anything? That is where my magic stick comes into play. I can hook it on to whatever I want, and bring it down, and then, do whatever I need to do with it. In this case, I am fixing a poorly hung pair of shorts. Very exciting. And then I can just use that magic stick again and hang it right back up. I tell you, it is crazy what you can do with a stick these days. Woo! Other work duties include folding shirts. Woohoo! I do enjoy folding shirts, and because people always trying shirts on and unfolding piles, the fun never ends. And since I'm so short, this is where I hide from customers so I can scare them when they come around the corner. Peekaboo! And because I gotta use my hands to wheel around, this is how I carry things around the store. After hours of hard work on my feet, it's time for some lunch. On the menu is sushi, some ginger to cleanse the palate, and then more sushi. After that, straight back to work. Gotta keep that store in order and serve customers. Oh, hello! Beep! I know what you're thinking. Jeez, Jimmy Jan is really good at his job. And then there's a few more hours of intense labor, and then it's time for Jimmy Jan to squiggly giggly on home. Also, if you work at Billabong head office and you're watching this video, I definitely filmed all of this after my shift. Anything else would just be irresponsible. Bye!
Did you know that July is Disability Pride Month? No, it's not the same as LGBTQ plus Pride, though I can see why some people get confused because they do fall one after another. But Disability Pride Month is its own thing and it's important. And in the wave of disability cuts across the world, this year is even more important than ever. It was started in the USA in July 1990 when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed, and has since become a global celebration as well as an act of protest to campaign for a more inclusive world for disabled people. The three main goals of Disability Pride Month are to change the way people think about and define disability, to help people unlearn the internalized ableism felt within the disability community, and to promote the belief that disability is a natural and beautiful part of human diversity which we can take pride in. It's not about pretending disability is easy. It's about saying even though it's hard, we're still here and we're proud of that. We are not going anywhere, but we do desperately need allies to fight alongside us so that we can achieve true respect and equity. So if you've never heard of Disability Pride Month before, welcome in. We're glad you're here and I'd love to know what you'd love to learn about disability or any questions that you might have in the comments.
So while you kids are busy fighting the comments on who can and can't identify as queer, I'm fighting the urge to cancel the first doctor's appointment I've been able to get in months, if not longer, because the questionnaire has discriminatory language on it. And I'm scared that when I show up to the office, they're going to blame everything on my HRT instead of actually taking into account that I'm disabled. Which I feel like is a more valid fear than men invading lesbian spaces, considering the fact that every time I go in for medical help, I am just basically discarded or malpracticed on. Because all the facilities in my area are just religious-based institutions, and they are very, very transphobic. But my only other option is to just smoke weed for the pain and not go anywhere. And just hope for the best that whatever's happening to me is not anything that's gonna damage me forever. In my opinion, we just have more important things to worry about other than what you cannot comprehend. And yes, history itself is transphobic because they ignored trans people. That's why you actually read queer history by trans people. I can't believe I have to even tell you guys this.
June is over, but that doesn't mean it's not still a Pride Month. It is now Disability Pride Month, so happy Disability Pride to all of my fellow disabled people, whether it be a physical disability, an intellectual disability, both, somewhere in between. Happy Pride, y'all. Also, call your representatives and tell them not to pass the big, beautiful bill. Oh my God.
Get up, cocksuckers. Salute the flag. Get up, everybody, get up. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure you had a grand...
I wanna grab the shoulders and shake, baby. Snap out of this.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you.
Rapid fire reminders for everybody in the chronic illness and disability community. Lazy people don't struggle to do the things they enjoy. You deserve accessibility before you reach your breaking point. Resting and taking down days to recover is not the same thing as giving up. Needing help doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human, and honestly, it makes people more likely to open up to you and to ask for help themselves, because if you never accept help, people are never going to ask you for help. And on that point, you don't have to be at your absolute worst before you ask for help. Accessibility is not a reward for suffering. It is a right. Your body and your health are allowed to be a priority, even when it inconveniences other people. Thriving is not about pushing harder. It's about adjusting sooner. And if you need things like mobility aids or assistive devices or accommodations, that does not mean you gave up. That means you adapted and that you purposefully kept going. And finally, your worth is not measured in how much pain you can hide. Okay? You deserve to live comfortably instead of just surviving painfully.